Hey, what's up, guys? Stock Catcher here. What a day today. So many plays just ripping face going vertical. All right, I said in the previous video that this week is going to be insane, and that's exactly what's happening. If you see right here, these are just a couple trade ideas, the top MVP trades for today. There was a lot more trades that ended up ripping face, but I didn't include them, right? Just the top ones that I myself appreciated. So first one, you saw ATMC, that 20 break. I mentioned it in the live stream around, I think it was like 23, and then ended up just ripping to 100. So this one I could not post on Twitter or stock tweets because usually after the afternoon around power hour, I usually have to I'm busy, right? So I can't really post on multiple platforms. So YouTube gets the after hours mainly. So that was ATMC, and the next one, W buy. This one I posted in the morning time. This was a multi-day. I said the angle, and then at the ribbon face TWG. This was a massive play. This went almost over 27, at now went to like 27, so that's a $17 gain. GPCR, this one was just absolutely monster, 44 to 94.90. The WVE, this one 10 break, I mentioned that 10 break, and then it ran to over $20. Workhorse, this one was actually very fast. It was a really clean runner. iBio, this one was one of my favorites today. This one went from 135 to 242. So as you guys see, you're gonna see everyday opportunity, guys. I'm gonna be posting these traded days early, and when I share these recaps, I say like every day, but this does not mean that people are gonna buy at the bottom, sell the top, right? And I'm not saying that every trade is gonna be 500% or a supernova. It's just to showcase the opportunity is there, right? If you show up prepared, you could capitalize, right? You could take advantage of this momentum, and it's gonna be like this. I think honestly, every day there's gonna be play setups until probably March. There's gonna be some nice volume, and then you know how PDT is gonna get reduced, in my opinion, right? In the summertime or springtime, and then there's gonna be a huge supernova, again, momentum. So guys, this is gonna be a lot of fun. So if you're on this team, I think you're gonna do great. So first stock for the video, ABP. So ABP, this is another one of those same setups that we've been seeing lately, right? These thin reverse split type of stocks, and ABP is actually a small cap biotech that's developing next generation antibody therapeutic. So this one actually does fit the technical theme as well. If you go to the daily chart, these reverse split stocks. Remember I said yesterday that you have to pay attention to reverse split. And then what happened today was that you saw stocks like Semtrex in the pre-market just ripping face. If you go to ABP daily chart right now, you could just see the same type of setup, reverse split, huge range, and then on top of that they have potential catalyst, right? So ABP, if you look at the data, they said that they actually had a strategic collaboration for worldwide development as well as commercialization of certain bispecific antibody program. They're saying how it's reported up to $1.75 billion in milestone payments. So ABP, this one I'm gonna be watching. Next one is iBio. So iBio are talking about the business. Basically, they're a biotech company where this stock actually does also fit the reverse split angle, but this was not a recent reverse split. This was more of a previous one, like the older one, right? But if you look at iBio, how it's been holding up today, I really like the consolidation on the technical chart, right? If you pull up iBio, it did not fully round trip. If you go to the chart right now, if you look, iBio is holding over those levels, and then if you look at the potential catalyst potential as well, right? They're trying to design the next generation antibody therapeutic focus on obesity and cardiometabolic disorder. So if you remember what I said about biostocks, right? You always have to remember the top five. I said this like 10 times, where it's like cancer, Alzheimer, diabetes, obesity, Parkinson, as well as there's like two more where there's a huge market, there's like a huge potential where these talking about these biocatalysts. So you have to pay attention to this type of theme, right? So next stock is Toro. So Toro, this is a international energy transportation service company. And if you look at this stock, actually it had a really nice move in the previous trading day. I mentioned this, I believe, in the morning time, and then if you look at it right now, it's holding that previous base level. So this actually has a very nice catalyst coming up. This is December 16. So this is 1 week from now where they're saying that they're gonna give a special dividend of 175 per share. That's actually really nice if you consider the dividend plays have been really ripping, doing really good this year, right? So this company actually was formed as a spin-out of Castor Maritime and is incorporated outside the U.S. If you've been trading a while, you know this stock, right? Castor Maritime, this type of sector, petroleum, crude oil vessels. Remember these during this time period, around the winter time, November, December, these plays are just ripping face. I think like 2,000%. So you have to pay attention to this sector. I'm not specifically talking about Toro. I'm talking about the tanker. You guys know what I'm saying, right? The tanker, this type of sector. So usually after around this time period, it's like that. So next stock will be GLTO. So for GLTO, this is a stock again. I mentioned it a while ago, and then ended up making a really nice move. If you look at the daily chart, is forming a nice multi-day potential. The stock, if you look at the strategic pivot and acquisition angle, right? This company actually has publicly stated that they're on track for an IND submission, which is a pretty common catalyst if you're talking about this type of sector, right? This is in Q1, and this year's about to end, right? It's December. So a cash runway reported $11.9 million cash as of this year, right? This one, keep an eye on this one, GLTO, guys. I believe this one is also that thin daily chart angle, similar to the other ones, right? That's been ripping a lot. Next one, GNS, Genius Group. So for GNS stock, this one had a really nice move today. I was kind of, watching all day. This stock went from 62 cents to almost 80 cents actually. So that's a really big percent gain. It's not really about, when you're talking about penny stocks under $5, it's not always about the amount. It's more about the percent gain, right? Because most of the time people will see a stock up like 20 cents and think it's not really a lot, but you have to think about percentages wise, right? So for GNS stock, actually I did look up the CEO, what he's been saying, and he basically is talking about how GNS reduced the step by 1.5 million. So from $9.4 million to 7.9 million in flexible term debt that could be repaid at any time with no penalty. So GNS stock is right now is forming. The volume flow is also getting really nice. I've been watching it. Like I said, the flow is increasing as well. And I also saw that the CEO was talking about how GNS booked 1 million. I think it was over 1 million, or 1 million realized profit. So GNS is taking the right steps, in my opinion. And if you go to the daily chart, I said in the previous video, right? If you go to GNS's daily chart, it does not look bad again. You could verify yourself. It made that big move up initially, right? And then if you look at it right now, it's right near that base level. It bounced off of it multiple times, which is it's a bullish confirmation. Bouncing off of it multiple times, and then now it's forming a technical setup, right? So for GNS, I highly recommend keep an eye on this one, right? So next one, Watt. So Watt, this is an Energis corporation. So Watt develops over-the-air wireless power RF charging solution for IoT and small devices. I like how they've been progressing from RD toward initial commercial sales, right? So if you're talking about Watt stock, this is another one of those reverse split, tight, thin setup, which is what I've been saying is the theme this month, right? So if you look at Watt chart, the daily chart, it made a really big move up. This is a stock personality where it makes big moves up. And then now it's kind of pulled back a lot significantly, but it's right near that support level. You could check yourself. It's right near that psychological level. So this one could be interesting interesting idea, right? So next one, Alt. So Alt Immune. This is one I made a video on again. I think around like $3. It was around a couple months ago. And then look at it right now. It's been going absolutely parabolic. And this actually has technical heat towards that gap level. And this is a stock that did a cap bounce type of setup. If you don't know, cap bounce is my top 10 strategy when it comes to trading. So cap bounce is when a stock makes a big drop and then it ends up bouncing. And this is really common when you're talking about bio stocks. A lot of times these bio stocks have data and then they make a big drop, and then you could really bank big. I remember MLTX, or what was the, I think that was the ticker name, right? Remember I mentioned that again, right near the bottom, the cap bounce, and then ended up just ripping face. So for all, this is clinical stage biopharma. We're talking about obesity again. Remember I said earlier in the video, right? Targeting obesity, metabolic liver disease, as well as the technical chart as well, right? So ALT, and a really nice job if you're holding this, the bolus, right? So next one is KZIA. This is another stock that I made 2 videos on, I believe. This is another bio stock talking about brain cancer, right? Again, cancer. Selected solid tumor programs, as well as if you look at the daily chart, it's just breaking out over those past big resistance levels. If you go to the walls, right, the resistance walls. And KCIA is looking really nice. It's over. It looks like kind of like a blue sky type of breakout. If you look at the how it's acting, right? So this is another one of those, I believe, reverse split, reverse split, low flow, as well as this tight stock, right? So next one, KXIN. So if you're watching to this part in the video, what do you think the stock setup is, guys? This is another reverse split, low float stock. So this one, again, I mentioned this one, this was like last week or 2 weeks ago. And then right now, if you look at it, it's forming another multi-day potential setup. So if you look at KXIN, actually, this is recently in late November 2025. So this was like 2 weeks ago or 1 week ago, right? So KXIN actually presents itself as an auto retail platform in China. And if you've been noticing lately, right, these China stocks have been ripping face, the past couple of weeks. And this one, if you're focusing on luxury used cars and imported new cars, so KXIN, add this to your watch list, guys. Last stock for the video is LGHL. This is another tight reverse split thin stock. It has that crypto digital asset strategy angle. LGHL has been actively building a corporate crypto treasury. And again, this stock is forming a nice technical setup. It's kind of like curling over, right? This, again, stock personality used to make big moves, and now it's setting up. So if you made it to the end of the video, guys, I appreciate it. If you liked the video, as well as get ready, guys. The week just started. I think that this week is going to be a banger. I think that we're going to have a good time, right? This month is going to be nice. So Stock Catcher signing out. Have a great night, everybody. I'll see you in the morning time.